Hello and welcome. Now I just wanted to come on here and give you a little update on my current sleeping arrangements, as I am no longer sleeping on the floor, and I haven't been sleeping on the floor since the beginning of December 2017, and I wanted to explain the reasons why I'm no longer doing it, mostly because I have two of my most popular videos on this channel are all about how I sleep on the floor, why I sleep on the floor, why I love sleeping on the floor, and also my transitioning to sleeping on the floor as well. So I've had, I don't know, quite a lot of questions, quite a lot of people talk to me about it, and I wanted to let you know that I still stand behind everything I've said in the past, and if it wasn't for a few little details, I would be doing it right now myself. So the main thing you need to know about me is I'm from Australia. I come from a very tropical part in Australia. It's called Byron Bay. It's a big surfing, beaching town, and that's sort of the climate I grew up with. Our winters aren't really winters at all, and it's just kind of warm and tropical most of the year. And I have moved to upstate New York, which is kind of the opposite of that, and when it's winter here, it's really winter here, and you get a lot of snow, and it can be really freezing cold. And I've obviously acclimatized a little bit, but not enough to withstand the temperatures here, and also the house that I'm staying in is actually really quite old. So I think a lot of what I'm going to share with you now wouldn't be a problem if I was in a modern house or if I was in an apartment maybe, I'm not sure, but basically the house that I am in is a very cold one, and my room is got two external walls. So one wall faces outside and the other wall is external, but it faces a big pile of dirt, which in the wintertime gets frozen over and can be really cold. Another thing about this being a really old house is the fact that the insulation has dropped over the years, so I don't believe this room can keep any heat, even if there was enough heat being generated to come into it. And another problem is the floor itself is probably about this much concrete, and then it's got like this thin layer on top, and that is directly into the earth as well. So when it is winter and it's freezing cold, this floor is really cold to walk on. And yeah, obviously you can look at my setup of how I slept on the floor, but it just really wasn't enough to keep me elevated off the floor. But at the same time, this room wasn't maintaining any heat, and part of it is the insulation. Another big part of it is the fact that I have a door that goes straight outside right here. So I have it covered with a towel, but actually if you have a look, you can actually see outside. That little crack of light just shows you straight outside, and then all along the seam as well, it is just going outside. The wood has expanded or something like this over the years, and it just doesn't quite keep me warm at all. So even with the curtains closed and everything, this house is just old, and it just never kept any warmth in. And in fact, I just had cold air blowing through here. So obviously when you're sleeping on the floor and there's a cold draft coming straight along the floor, that's just not going to do you any favors whatsoever. So yep, that was just the main reason that I am no longer sleeping on the floor, is just kind of to do with the fact that it's an old house, and this door just wasn't helpful at trying to keep this room warm in any way. And then the other thing that I'm going to share with you is obviously my current sleeping arrangements. So this is the bed that I am currently sleeping on, and yeah, just get it to focus, there we go. And it is a futon actually, so it's not been too much of a transition, because I went from being on the floor, which is quite a hard surface, to being on a futon, which is a lot softer obviously than a hard surface, but it is definitely not a complete bed. And this situation here can actually be folded up, and it can be a couch. So the house that I am staying in purchased it because it's a multi-functional piece of furniture, so I'm currently using it as a bed. But then when it gets warmer here in the summertime, I'll go back to sleeping on the floor, and I can actually turn that into a sofa for people to sit on and things like that. So this is what I am currently sleeping on, and also this is the heating. So it's a really old heating, and you can see under here, you can see like the insulation and the dirt down the bottom. So it's really just not the right space to be sleeping on the floor, especially in winter time. And for someone who's just not used to that temperature, it just never worked out. But I've been really happy to sleep on this for the last couple of months, and I will do it until it really warms up, and then I will be back on the floor again. So mind my mess. I'm actually currently packing to go to England for my vacation, and then packing up my room as well in case someone comes to stay here. So I had this towel that tries to keep some of the draft out, but it doesn't do too good of a job. And then, yeah, this is the little view from my room. So anyway, I just wanted to give you that update because I know quite a few of you have seen those videos, and some of you follow me on Instagram, and I've had a couple of questions about why I'm no longer doing it. And really, it's just an environmental, circumstantial thing for me, because really, if it was warmer and I didn't have such an old house that I was staying in, I would be back on the floor and it would never have been a problem. So anyway, I thought I'd just give you a little update. Let me know if you are in a similar situation, or if you have a really old house or just not a very well insulated floor, or whatever it is. There's always different reasons why it just wouldn't work out for you, and why it hasn't worked out for me for the meantime. But like I said, when it gets warmer, I'll be back on the floor. So anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye!